Hey everyone, we're going to look at the unlock order for Season 73, and it's pretty important to kind of decide which tech you want to get first, because that's a difference from ranking up a lot early on versus maybe struggling for just a few days. But in a nutshell, we're starting with Rifle Zukas, maybe getting Kavan early, and kind of rushing to both bombers and rocket choppers later on. Seems like an okay season for no instant training. Even though there's a lot of defenses early on, there's also a lot of offense boosts, especially once we get bombers and RCs. But you can already see right there, rifles are our starting troop, which I think is one of the best for no instant training. Just the fact that they take only 15 minutes to train up a full 8 boats. And they'll also serve as our main meat shield for most of the season. And even if you want to compare them with heavies, it's not like rifles are way better, but everyone already has them, versus heavies that are 18 keys and also medics 14 right before. So it's more about spending as few keys as possible off path. And then the first few unlocks are machine guns getting Zukas, with then being that classic combo of rifle Zooks. And doesn't seem like it's gonna be too bad. We might running for at least a full time until bombers. You don't need too many Zukas because soon we're gonna see the deck layout, but just having a few of them and kind of staggering the rifles. If you drop all the rifles at the same time at the same spot, then splash buildings like machine guns and flames, you're just gonna roast them alive. But after Zooks, we'll pick up that multi-node, probably 2 machine guns. If we had that option, we would pick up flames, but would rather not spend diamonds. Eventually in the season, we'll probably swap to 2 cannons anyways, when you have rocket choppers out or heavy choppers with heavies out. We want to get flames now because either way, everyone's using rifles in some way, either full rifles or rifle Zukas. And of course, flames are one of the best defenses against them. And then right after flames, going to 3 ER. The reason we're skipping troop damage now is one, we don't have too many tokens. We want to use them to upgrade defenses and troops. But the other reason is, since Zukas do so much damage, they're your main damage dealer, it's not like you benefit a whole lot from troop damage. Maybe just like 5 seconds, maybe a bit more, but with the low tokens, at least at the start, kinda skipping it for now. And also we can show the difference between 2 and 3 ER. There's 2 ER right there, kind of everything on the left side, maybe a bunch of buildings in a line. You kinda want more machine guns towards the back ERs, because if the rifles die then, well, machine guns can actually hit Zukas. But then as you go to 3 ER, it's kinda the same on the left side, but it gets a bit deeper in the deck. And kind of the same deal, maybe 3 ERs around the backside. Either way, because there's more area, you can tell 3 ER is way better than 2. And as you go into 3 ER, you can pick up flare and shock bombs. Shock bombs great because then you can actually pin down those machine guns and flames. And for flare, we're actually going to leave it at level 1 for at least a little while. Because the ERs are most likely in the back, you don't need an upgraded flare. Even level 2 costs a few tokens, which if you don't upgrade, you can use for machine guns, flames, other buildings, or even your troops. So because you're pretty tight on tokens at the start, any chance you have to spend less of them, you gotta take. Now after shock bombs, you have a few options. You can go troop health onto 4 ER, maybe rush bombers, or you can go down for a proto mines building health. But I think we do need some offense right away, so because of that, we're gonna get Kavan right after shock bombs. Of course, it's great to have a hero, especially Kavan for squishy troops like rifles and Zukas. And even him, maybe not max out. Even though Second Wind does max at level 5 Kavan, it may not be the case that Second Wind's the best ability. His second ability might be pretty good too, using ice shields to survive some more mines. So because of that, even level 3 or 4 Kavan can pack quite a punch. Now at this point, you also have a bunch of options. Not only like we said before with building health and 4 ER, now you also open up for critters and mortars. But if anything that's going to have the most impact, pretty sure it's going to be 4 ER with its deck layout. And kind of thinking why with process of elimination, like mortars and critter launchers even, there's some good buildings, but the 3 ER deck already is kind of tight in space. So if you're already throwing shock bombs, then you're probably going to hit the same buildings anyways. Using critters might be okay, but it might be tough to critter out an actual ER, especially since you can have some flames right next to them and even put things like boom mines, shock mines there. But the main factor between why we're gonna go 4 ER instead of building health is just looking at the deck layout. It almost doubles in size, especially towards the back, and because it's narrow and kind of windy, 4 ER is gonna take a lot longer to get through. So even though it's expensive, costing 60 keys and getting shock mines, troop health before, I think it's well worth it just for the extra space. And then after 4 ER, you could think, well, maybe rush towards bombers, but there is a reason that bombers might not be too much faster than Zooks, at least this point in the season. Like they really benefit from their range and spreading them out, but because 4 ER is so narrow, all the bombers are gonna kind of group together, hit the same buildings at once. And if any troop that has the longest time of switching to new targets, I think bombers are one of them. So not saying they're not gonna be great, but at least for right now, wouldn't really be something just to rush to. Instead, you can pick up troop damage first. It's only 14 keys, and now that things have a bit more health, you can notice more of an effect with troop damage for even something like Zukas. And then making your way, getting some more buildings. On that proto, probably that hot pot, because then people are forced to not only shock it, but time it just right as soon as it pops up. And then mines are great too, because running rifle Zooks, there's almost no better defense. With finally right after mines getting building health, one of the strongest boosts in the tree. And these bottom few defenses are stronger than mortars and critter launchers because they actually counter rifle Zooks specifically. Even though mortars and critter launchers do a bit of splash, they're also expensive, having to get either warriors or grins right before. But these bottom three, each one of them has quite an impact. And if you play right at the start of the season, this is a tech you could have if you want to try to hit gold. So if you hit rank 15 and open 4 chests in iron, you can have all these unlocks. So whether you hit gold after this, or even wait a few time chests, the next best unlock is probably critters. Until this point, you really just have Kavan's ice shields for dealing with mines and staggering some rifles, but having critters adds some more safety to it. Especially some weird mines that maybe rifles don't hit but probably are gonna pinch Zooks. It's good to have another way to target mines whenever you want. And now at this point in the season, even though it's still day 1, you kind of have to decide what you want to do for the rest of it. One option is to really focus on offense, so we can go ahead, rush to bombers, and maybe rocket choppers after, pick up stuff like artillery. Or if you want to take the defensive approach, then right now at this point, you would go for critter launchers and mortars and boom cannons, which I think both options work out, but to have both a more fun season and more easy season, I'll take the offense approach. And with that, we're gonna rush first straight to bombers, and if it works out that bombers and Zookas have around the same speed, if you have no instant training, you can kinda choose which one. Use Zooks until you run out of Zooks, and then switch to bombers. Either way, having rifles as a meat shield, but because they're so quick to train, it shouldn't really matter either way. And even having mechs on the main path also helps out. Even just one of them can help stun buildings like flames for your rifles or some other splash. And because we're taking the more offense approach and now want to rush to rocket choppers, we're gonna skip boom cannons for a little bit. 26 keys is like a third of what 5 ER costs, and rocket choppers are probably gonna be way faster than bombers. So the sooner you can get them, the better. So that's why at this point, we're gonna rush to 5 ER. And if there weren't more reasons to skip boom cannons, you can just look at the 5 ER deck and, like before, it kinda doubled in area. This one is almost the same, like increasing by about a half. So it's still using the ground troops, either bombers or Zookas. You gotta travel a lot more distance to reach the end of the deck. So I'm sure 5 ER even alone could be a good push point. And we're also gonna skip artillery right now, because even though we have only 50 building health, we don't have too many tokens to max it out. Art takes about 2 million to max out, and right now you're still struggling upgrading defenses, troops, and some abilities. But taking a quick look later into 5 ER, you can see rocket choppers are pretty soon after. There are some expensive unlocks like rocket launcher, shock launchers. In fact, I would leave both those at level 1, because right after rocket choppers, you want to get artillery. If you max it out, then you can use it to kill a few buildings like an annoying boom cannon, maybe even a cannon too. And since we only have 50 building health all the way until 7 ER, that artillery is going to come in handy. And that's not even mentioning the fact that there's 2 sky shields at 5 ER. So if people place it in the right way, then you kind of want art to deal with them. And we'll also cover an upgrade order too, especially this season when we're pretty tight on tokens. But as a reminder, if you're buying any shop offers, instant training, or even Admiral's Key, would appreciate supporting a creator. And if you want to support this channel, you can use code Stoneheart. And to kind of check out the upgrade order, we kind of have visuals right there, even starting from rank 1. Like first, of course, you want landing crafts and troop rifles upgraded a bit. Then slowly work on some buildings, eventually maxing out rifles. And after rifles, the 2 main buildings you want to upgrade are machine guns and flames, because there's splash and you're using rifles. Then the other troop using Zookas, especially when you have flames up there. And at least on this one, even though we have the keys for 3 ER, we might wait until we have enough for shock bombs. And that's just because going 3 ER too early might be a bit defensive. But it's only rank 8 to even unlock shock bombs, so not too far along. And once we get shocks, then we can upgrade gunboat a bit, and start maxing out some buildings like machine guns and flames. Whenever we do start from rank 1, you want to try to hit rank 11 before opening any 4 starting chests. If not, it's fine too, but you just get a few extra keys by saving a bit. But good news is, rank 10, so right before rank 11, you can unlock Kavan, get him to level 3. Again, probably using Ice Shields, his second ability, because he can do a fair amount dealing with mines. And if you do hit rank 11, we're gonna do rank 11 plus 4 chests, so almost 100 keys to spend, a bunch of things like troop health, shock mines. And because this is a rank 1 start, we're only a few keys short of 4 ER. So because 4 ER and troop damage is the same chest either way, we're just gonna get troop damage right now. Upgrading things like cannons, snipers, boom mines, shock mines, and a little bit on troop damage. If you hit rank 12, you can open up 4 ER, so that should be a big help. Upgrading troop health a bit also. And while rank 13 doesn't get you anything, rank 14 gets you both a hotpot and mines. And finally, rank 15 for building health. If you do start right away, maybe try to hit gold, but it's perfectly fine waiting too, like 1 more iron chest in this case, and you get critters. If let's say you don't start in rank 1, you start a bit higher, you can kind of follow this until whatever rank you do start on, and then just go from there. It might be a bit different dealing with the 4 starting chests because you'll have to factor that in, but this just shows you that even starting from nothing, like a brand new season, you can still plan to a fair amount of progress. And for everything in one screen, we'll show this chart right there. It's basically the same info, just all in one image. Sometimes seasons can be a bit different where things change, but don't really think it should be the case this time around. But if it is, you can always watch starting streams or early videos. We will be streaming the start with a rank 1 account. And if you missed that, should put it into a shorter video, maybe like 12 hours into the season. But that's really the main takeaways for a starting path. Gonna get flames first, go to Kavan, open 4 ER, and then go back for troop damage, building health, and some critters. Do want to watch out for not spending too many tokens. But the main thing we're looking forward to in this season is rushing to rocket choppers. I think the timing works out that you can probably get them by day 5, so around Friday for most people. And even though it's a long time, I think it should be worth the wait. Because if you get rocket choppers, but it's gonna be a lot faster than bombers, and a lot more fun too. But let me know what you think about the starting path, and good luck this season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.